If you want to become owner operator, if that is your goal, that is your dream, is to become an owner operator within trucking, this is the best time to get into trucking. And you probably think that we're crazy for saying that with how bad the economy is right now and the fuel prices and all of that stuff. But just give us a minute. We're going to tell you why. We're going to explain why we're saying that. We already told you all of the reasons on why we think that you shouldn't get into trucking as an owner operator right away. I'm going to link the video somewhere over here so you can watch it. Those are the reasons on why you should. Today we're going to tell you the reasons on why you should get into the trucking and become an owner operator, and why we're saying that this is the best time to do that. So what we're saying is, if your goal, your dream, your business plan is to become an owner operator in the future, let's say 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, however long it takes you to get your finances in order, to get the experience that you need to run a business, get into the trucking industry right now as a company driver. Only as a company driver. Get your CDL, go get a job with one of the big mega carriers, and get the experience that you need as a driver first. And we're talking to the brand new CDL drivers. It may be somebody that is just now considering getting a CDL, brand new. You old-timer, 40-year truck drivers, super truckers out there. We're talking to the new, brand new drivers. We're not talking to the super drivers. We're talking to the new, brand new drivers, brand new CDL drivers, or somebody that is planning on getting into the trucking industry and becoming an owner operator in the future. So this is what we're telling you to do based on our own experience of what we're seeing out here. We're out here on the road, running a business, running a truck, doing what we're doing out here to keep the business going. So this is all based on our own experience and nothing else. Don't come at me, talking all this nonsense and saying all these crazy things that you're getting $10 per mile and this and that. That's good. God bless you. Good for you. We're talking based on our own experience and nothing else, all right? So I'm going to have Seneca explain to you guys why we think that this is the best route if you want to be an owner operator in the future. So what will you say that they do if it's a brand new CDL driver that is thinking about becoming an owner operator, let's say a year from now?
Well, I mean, getting in as a company driver, it gives you over-the-road experience. I would suggest choosing over-the-road experience just for the sake of being able to deal with the hazards that come along with being just a driver in general before you even become an owner operator. Things like dealing with the terrain, the elements, driving in blizzards, understanding rules and regulations. These are things you will need to understand, at least the basic aspect of it, before even becoming an owner operator. So just having general knowledge, I feel like is a must, and that's what I would suggest as far as like getting into just truck driving in general, or the trucking industry. Don't just jump straight in and be like, I'm going to be an owner operator right from the jump. It can go real bad. So
unless you have like unlimited funds and money to get you out of situations that can happen, because they're gonna happen, like truck breakdown a couple times in 1 month, you blew up a tire, you need a new radiator, you need, unless you have a really good bunch of money saved up in your savings account that you're willing to spend all of that to start, a brand new business. We're not telling you don't do it. We're just telling you, like if this was us today trying to get into the trucking business to be owner operators, this is what we will do. These are the steps that we will take.
Yeah, just understanding different rules and regulations across the states. Some of the states have different rules as far as like simple things like the axle on your trailer should be X amount of feet away from the kingpin. Like different states have different rules, so you can get found, or you could get caught having your axles out of place. And these are just an example of what can happen when you don't understand the rules. But the last thing you want to do is be an owner operator getting tickets for simple things. So I'm suggesting that you want to make all of your mistakes under the company, their insurance, their truck, their trailers, I mean, if it is their trailers, but just under them in general, under their MC. And once you, I'm not gonna say make enough mistakes, but once you understand just the basic, have a basic understanding of the rules and regulations, have a good amount of driving experience, drove in different terrains, different elements, then yeah, you got a nice amount of money saved up, got your credit straight, then I would suggest getting in then.
Okay, so start as a company driver and
Yeah.
work your way, learn what we're saying basically is learn what you need to learn as a driver first.
Yeah.
Once you get the driver part out of the way, now you feel comfortable driving, like he said, in different terrains, different weather, different, situations. Now you got all of that out of the way. Now try to learn the business side of trucking.
Mm-hmm.
Ask all the questions that you need to ask to other people. Research, do your own research. Don't ever go by videos like this or other videos on YouTube. Do your own research.
Yeah.
Call the FMCSA. Ask a lot of questions. Go on the FMCSA website. Learn the regulations. Read all of the regulations, requirements. DOT department. Do all of that. Don't just watch videos on YouTube. We can provide you information and knowledge based on what we know and what we done and what we seen. However, there might be things that we're missing. There might be things that you gotta go and learn them on your own, find information on your own on the FMCSA website, DOT website. So do all of that research. Once you, like I said, once you get all the driving out of the way, you feel comfortable with your driving skills. Learn the business part of it. Once you learn the business part of trucking, and you have your finances in order, you have your credit straight and all of that, then you might be ready to jump into becoming an owner-operator. And you're probably going to have more success if you do it that way instead of, I know I get so many comments of people saying, I'm just gonna, I just want to do it. You guys are lying about, the situation. My friend said that I can make $180,000 if I just go and buy a truck. Your friend is probably right. You can make $180,000. However, your gross is gonna be way, way different than your net. I'm not telling you don't do it. I'm just providing you knowledge based on our own experience. I see our numbers. We been making $40,000, $30,000 in 1 month. That's gross. Our net gross is over here. The net is way down here, baby. And it's no lies, and there is no shame in the game, because I'm telling you the truth, because this is what it is. I know that some of you guys are so used to watching other YouTubers, and all they talk about is money, money, money.
They only tell you the gross.
They only
tell you the gross.
And we make a lot of money, and we have, yes, we make a lot of money too. We're making a lot of money. We're not keeping a lot of money. Like, we're not keeping a lot of money. And that is the reality of any business, not only trucking, any business in general. You're going to make a lot of money if you have a good business model, but your net is going to be a lot less. So understanding, those things, you got to do your own research, run your own numbers, make sure that you have a good relationship with your finances and with your credit. Once you have all of those things in place, you might be ready to become an owner-operator. Jump on it at your own risk.
It's a lot more to it than just driving the vehicle.
Yeah.
Like you say, studying the
FMCSA.
FMCSA. Just having a basic understanding of what's required to even put your truck on a road and how much it costs. And these are like necessary things that you should know before you're thinking about being an owner-operator, or even purchasing a vehicle, for that matter.
Exactly. So, again, like I said, we're not telling anybody do it, don't do it. Don't ever take what we're saying as your final advice to make a big life-changing decision. Like, don't do that. Do your own research. Learn what you need to learn. Check your finances, check your credit, make sure that you're good before you jump into anything. We're just providing you information so that you can make a more educated decision on what you're trying to do. That's all we're doing. All of the information we provide is just based on what we have seen out here and our own personal experience. I can only speak on what I know. I cannot speak on anything else that is outside of what we know.
I see a lot of capping. A lot of capping on YouTube.
Yeah,
Trust me.
And we're all about transparency on my channel. I said it before. I will never tell you that I'm making $60,000 and just tell you, well, I make $60,000 a month. I'm gonna tell you, yeah, I make $60,000 a month, and sadly, I ended up with 20 or 15 or whatever the case was, because lying it's not gonna make me keep more money in my pockets. And I'm not with that. I'm all about transparency and providing accurate information on what we're doing.
I guess it's for the views.
We don't do that. We don't do
Say
that.
these astronomical numbers.
No, I didn't start my channel
Any
for the
trucker
views.
understands. They have a basic understanding of what the real numbers are.
Yeah.
Some of these numbers I see, I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no way.
And we get a
No
lot
way.
of comments, a lot of messages, from people saying,
Yeah.
talking about
Because-
crazy numbers.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times it comes down to your setup.
Yeah. Yeah.
With your truck. Like if somebody said I made $50,000 this month, even 60, I would think that he's not driving a dry van
Correct.
right from the jump.
Yeah.
This is like basic things I already know.
Yeah.
That's tough with a step deck.
Yeah.
Tough with a reefer. I would say, oh, he's probably at least bare minimum RGN, low boy.
Heavy hauling.
And
Super heavy hauling.
he got a good contract with
Yeah.
somebody,
Yeah.
and this is how he's doing these numbers.
Yeah.
Anything outside of that, I'm like, no way,
Yeah.
no way.
So again, only because you see people talking about crazy money, crazy numbers, it doesn't mean that that's how much, you're gonna make as a brand new owner operator, as a brand new truck driver. There is money to be made. We have never said any different. Like, there is a lot of money to be made out here. You just gotta have a good understanding of finances and understand how much you're actually gonna be able to keep from that. And you gotta have your finances in order. As we got into the business, into the owner operator business, right away, because we had our finances in order. We had everything situated that we needed to get situated before we jumped into, let's go purchase a truck and start a business. Like, we have worked on that for 2-3 years prior to us starting a trucking business.
Yeah.
So
Years building the credit up.
Building your credit, saving to
2
make sure that you
years.
have a healthy savings account for when things happen, because things are going to happen. It's not when, they're gonna happen. It's not if they happen, it's gonna be when it happens, because it is gonna happen. So that's all we're saying. We're not telling you do it, don't do it. We do feel like right now, if you want to, that's your goal. You want to be an owner operator, get in.
Start company driver.
Start as a company driver.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with starting. Seneca started as a company driver. There's nothing wrong with doing that. In this economy right now, you want to have a
You wanna be comfortable.
You gotta be comfortable.
That's
You
what
gotta
you
have
wanna
a consistent income coming
Right.
in. Which, when you're a company driver, you get that paycheck every week, 2 weeks, whatever the case might be. You wanna have
Company
that
drivers,
right now.
they got fuel cards and everything. Who wants to deal with these pumps?
I know, right?
I do it because, we do
We're
it
in
because
it.
we gotta do it. We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I wish I had a fuel card. I could just run it under a company, but I make less money. But still,
Run it under a company, you just gotta pay the bill.
you gotta pay the cost. Pay the cost.
So, like I said, if that was our situation, if it was brand new, trying to get a CDL, trying to start into the business, and the goal was to be, owner operators, those are the steps that we will take today. Get your CDL, get in as a company driver, find whatever mega carrier that pays you the most, that is going to give you the most training, send you over the road, like Seneca said, go over the road, all of that local stuff. You're not going to learn much by driving around your city. You're not going to learn a lot.
Trying to fast track is going to hurt you in the long run.
Yeah.
Just take your lumps to the head. And I know people will say, oh, well, you did it in 6 months. It's like, no, I already had experience over the road in the military. So I'm a little bit different.
Yeah.
But if I came in green, rookie, I would say, yeah, let me drive as a company driver
Yeah,
first.
for longer than 6 months.
I'm a different case.
Yeah, and a lot of people say that, well, you guys did it in 6 months. Why are you telling us not to do it?
Yeah.
You gotta listen to the rest of the things that we say. Don't just take one thing, because some of you people are so focused on one thing and one thing only. It's like you don't hear the rest of the stuff that we're saying. So yes, we got in 6 months. Yes, we're doing just fine. You know, as of right now, we're doing just fine. However, keep in mind that Seneca already had a lot of experience from the military. We together combined, we already had a lot of life experience when it comes to a lot of things. You know, like with him with the driving, with me with the business part of things.
Aspect, yeah.
I have a business degree. I have a business administration degree. I know how to run a business. I run the military barbershops in the military base for almost 20 years by myself.
How many people was that you managed?
About 40. I had about 40 barbers under me. So I have a lot of life and business experience from the past, from my previous job. I did HR, I did payroll, I did hiring, firing, training. So combined, we had a lot of life knowledge and life experience to get into a business. We was not brand new, you know, and plus we have, I'm not going to say we're millionaires because we're not yet, but we had a strong finance situation at home. Like we was good, we're okay. We any things can happen, we're fine because we have good, healthy finances. So with that being said, our case is different. His case is different. You know what I mean? Everybody's situation is going to be different. So don't just take one thing out of everything that we're saying. Please listen to the whole conversation so that you can understand why we're saying what we're saying. I am not trying to kill nobody's dream when I say, it's hard, it's difficult. I'm not trying. I had somebody who said on the comments that said, you're not going to kill my dream, lady. I am going to become an owner operator. And I was like, sweetheart, I pray that you do, like, when you're ready. Like, please learn everything that you need to learn. I support you from here. I want everybody to be business owners. Yeah. However, listen to the rest of the stuff that we're saying. I was like, man, Jesus, like, just listen to everything.
If he don't listen, he gonna kill his own dream.
I know, right?
It's a warning. It's a transparent warning to things.
Like, we don't gain nothing by telling you guys do it, don't do it. If you get into trucking and you end up messing up, it ain't gonna hurt me because I'm not part of your business.
We are not trying to sell you anything.
No.
We're just telling you what's going on. Like a news reporter.
Yeah.
So
we're just sharing information.
We're just sharing information. We ain't trying to sell you no T-shirts.
No.
I'm not saying come to my seminar. I'm not saying.
We're not with none of that.
I'm not saying meet me up here so you can meet me for whatever reason. We're not saying anything.
I have, subscribers offering to, send me money. They want me to guide them. They want to do business consulting. I'm not with all of that because I only know what I know, and I much rather provide free information on what I know. I don't know everything within trucking. I know a lot about business, but I don't know everything within trucking. So, when I get people saying, can you please take a phone call? I'll pay you. I'll send you money. I can't do that because I don't know everything. Plus, I didn't create my channel to start charging people money for anything. I'm really passionate about sharing information. As you guys can probably see, I'm super intense and I like knowledge and I like sharing information. I like asking questions. So that's the whole reason why I created this channel. It was for me to learn more from people, to connect with other drivers, and share what we know.
It's a lot of good advice out there too. Some guys say things in comments.
Yeah.
Well, I actually sat and thought about it. Like maybe that is a good idea. So I mean, it's an exchange.
It's an exchange. We have got so much great information from some of the subscribers about different things that we can do. Great advice on things that we can do differently within our business model as well. So you just gotta open up them ears and listen to the rest of the conversation. Don't just take one thing, So when we're saying today that we think that this is a good time to get into trucking, if you wanna be a owner operator in the future, we really mean that. Like, get in it as a company driver, learn everything that you gotta learn, and work your way to where you feel comfortable driving and running your own business. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. I mean, if you can afford to get anything as far as purchasing a vehicle, I would suggest going under somebody else, MC, and try to soften the blow
Yeah.
as far as expenses. So that's the only other way. But yeah, being green, company driver.
Yeah.
Don't get out on this road thinking you're gonna run this business and know everything from the jump and with no experience.
Correct.
You're gonna kill your own dream.
You're gonna kill your own
Real
dream. I don't
quick.
need to kill it for you.
Real quick. Don't. We're not gonna do it.
No.
You're gonna do it to yourself. So,
Right. Like I will never tell you to do something that like I don't
Yeah.
have knowledge on
Like-
it. Like I can only speak on what I know. Like I said,
like
and that's it.
if the market or the industry was good right now, we would be saying the opposite. We would say something totally different.
Yeah.
But right now, this is what we're saying. You know, the current state.
The current state. We're speaking on today's
Yeah.
reality within trucking. And there might be, some of your super truckers out there doing great, and I
Super.
believe that. Like I believe when some of you truckers, say, yeah, like, because you have a direct contract or you have a direct shipper or these are, I know that that's possible, it's not as easy to go out there and find direct shippers. It's not as easy, believe me. If I know, and I'm good at doing this with people all day long, it's not as easy. But some of you people might be, doing super great, and you're like, what are you talking about? Like, it's not bad out here. Well, only because it's good for one person, it doesn't mean that it's
Yeah.
good for the overall of trucking right now. And that's what we're speaking on. There's the specific ones that are doing just great because they have direct contracts, direct shippers, and that's God bless you, and keep that money. But
Yeah.
the overall of trucking at the moment, we all know how it is.
Just because you're winning doesn't mean everybody
Yeah,
else is.
Exactly, exactly.
Good for you.
Yeah, and if you've been in the trucking industry for 20 years, you deserve that. You put in your hard
Yeah.
work. You probably worked so hard on building those relationships with the shippers, with direct contracts, and all of that.
Brokers,
We're
everybody.
new. We haven't put in all of that work yet. We're working day by day to get better and be able to keep more money in our pockets, but we're new to the trucking industry, so we're still learning from everybody and everything around us. So no, like if you're doing great out there with trucking, like I God bless
More power
you.
to you.
Yes, we're happy for you, but that doesn't mean that the rest of the trucking industry is like this amazing industry right now, and we all know that.
It was a long time ago. but things are different now.
Things are different now.
Things are different
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I recall a couple of years ago, every video I would watch, I'm making $30,000.
Yeah.
I made $10,000 this week. And I'm like, oh, wow. That's what I need to be doing. And when we got in,
And then you can make it, but you're not going to keep it.
I think the wave left. It was different. It was different.
And we, and we understand that trucking is, cycles. You get those good 2 years where the rates are good, decent, and then you get 2 years where the rates are, pretty low. Like we understand the dynamic of trucking.
I mean-
There is cycles, like for pretty much any other business.
I mean, we had hot streaks,
Yeah.
here and there, and
Yeah.
but what we come to understand is that's not going to be 365 days
No.
out of the whole year. You're just going to be on a hot streak.
Yeah,
So we're starting to understand what this really is.
exactly.
And we just informing you.
Yeah, that's all. And like I say, we're new to the trucking industry. We might have a lot of, knowledge and understanding of businesses in general, but new to the trucking industry. So we're still learning, and we're just sharing with you guys what we have learned so far, what we've seen, things that we're gonna, keep an eye on so that we know what to do next year. Like, what we're gonna be doing for the winter, since we have a step deck. So the things that you can do to, make money, still be, profitable with certain setups like the one that we have. So
Yeah.
it's all about just, learning. Just keep learning, keep asking questions, and that's what we do. That's all we do, honestly. And we're happy to share, the knowledge with you guys on whatever we learn.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So with all of this being said, take it however you want to take it, but please listen to the whole thing. I don't make more money or less money by you jumping into the business and messing up your own finances because you was not informed. I'm not gonna make less money or more money if
Yeah.
you get in and you end up making a lot of money. It's your money. You're not gonna give it to me. So I don't win or lose anything
And
by
we ain't trying
you.
to sell you nothing.
No, no.
No seminars.
Yeah. So do your own research. Do not go by anything that we're saying as your final answer to things. Don't do that because we are not professionals, super truckers. We know what we know, is what I'm saying, all right? So do your own research. Learn from the FMCSA website, learn from DOT regulations, learn all of that.
And get your experience.
And get your experience.
If you're trying to become an owner-operator with no experience,
That right
get
there.
your experience.
Get your experience first. Go make all of the mistakes you're gonna make them under somebody else's big authority.
Yeah.
Like a big mega carrier. They got a lot of money. They can pay for things. You know.
That pretty much that's what Warner was for me.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what we discussed. We was
Yeah.
just like gonna stay in for 6 months, year, or whatever. A year was the limit,
Yeah.
and I was just going to get experience and try to figure out what's going on, what is it like, driving in different road conditions, different terrains, and I learned a lot, and I applied them over once I crossed over into being an owner operator, and it was helpful because
Yeah.
when it was time for us to run a business, I was already groomed.
Yeah.
I was already
Yeah.
ready,
Yep.
like where the keys at.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And that's what you want to do. Go over the road. Like I said, that local stuff, just driving around your city, driving a semi-truck around your city is probably not going to give you the experience that you need to have to actually make money as an owner-operator. Because as an owner-operator, you got to drive different states, different...
Coast to coast.
Coast to coast, baby. So go over the road, get familiar with all the things you're going to need to get familiar with out there. Then
New York to Cali.
then do New York to Cali.
New York to Cali.
That's honestly, that's how you're going to get that experience, to be a safe driver out there. And that's why you want to be, especially once you start running under your own MC, under your own business, because any mistake that you make, it's going to be all on you. And you don't want to be, put out of service.
And those tickets, they're not cheap.
Yeah,
Anything you do over the road in your vehicle is expensive.
yeah.
In case you haven't noticed,
Yes.
everybody got their hands sticking out and saying, pay me.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's not even something you think you should be paying a lot of money for,
You're going to pay.
you're going to pay.
You're going to pay.
And they got it set up where you have to do it that way.
Yeah.
When you walk in the DMV and they say, hey, if you want these license plates, you need $8,000 just to put a tire on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you need to understand regulations and the rules of your state, or even not your state, but just the federal rules.
Yeah. So he's referring to, like when you purchase a truck, and like for us, we bought our truck in a different state. It was not in Florida. So when we went to the DMV to try to get our license plate and, tags and all of that, we literally pay almost $10,000 between
Yeah.
taxes, because we bought the truck in another state. So between taxes and getting our tags and our license plate, it was almost $10,000, guys. It was
10,000.
crazy. I thought it was gonna be more like 4,000. I was ready for
Yeah.
maybe 4,000, 4,500. It was almost 10,000.
I looked at her like, did this
Yeah.
person just say
Yeah.
that amount?
He's like, you knew it was gonna be that much? I'm like, no, baby, I thought it was gonna be half of that. So you gotta learn all of those things and prepare. You know what I mean? For if that's the route you wanna take, you gotta be prepared. You gotta learn and be prepared. So
Get your knowledge up
get your knowledge
before
first.
you become an owner operator.
Absolutely.
Don't just jump in free-handed with a blindfold on, expecting everything to go perfect.
Yeah.
Because it will, I didn't say it will, but it's a good chance that things will go bad.
Exactly. And we don't want that. We don't want to see
It's a good
anybody
chance.
struggling out there or
Yeah.
losing a business that you worked so hard to build because you was not informed.
Been seeing a lot of videos lately, a lot of guys going out of business, and
Yeah.
it's bothersome.
It is.
Just
it
to
is.
see it.
So you don't want to be,
Yeah.
one more on that list. So get informed, do your research, and then, make your decision based on what works for you, your family, and that's it. Nothing that we say or other people say matters if you're not doing your own research, making sure that you have your finances in place.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, that's all we wanted to share with you guys